Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back again with another Doordash video, and I'm just going to get straight to the point because a lot of people misunderstand. They get this on time or early percentage rating misunderstood a lot. So I'm going to briefly explain how this rating works. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to my ratings right now. All right. You see, I have 78% on time or early percentage. Now, you look at this, you'll say that, oh, that's low. That's a low rating. It should be at least like 95%. And I guess you're right about that, but you know, it doesn't necessarily work that way. And I'm gonna give you guys one example. All right. Well, first and foremost, before I even give that example, I'm gonna say this. DoorDash does not penalize you for this rating right here. It could be as low as 0%. They will not penalize you for that. They will not. What they penalize you for, and remember this because it's very important. What they penalize you for is if you are late going to the restaurant. If you're like 10 minutes late or more going to the restaurant, you get penalized for that. And you'll also get penalized if you are 10 minutes or more late going to the person's address. However, if you're waiting at a restaurant for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, yeah, your on-time percentage will go down, but you will not be penalized for that. And you also will not get a contract violation for that. Well, the contract violation is the penalty. And if you get enough of those, you get deactivated. But, you know, because they have a contract violation for extreme latenesses. If you're extremely late, 10 minutes, extremely late means 10 minutes or more, going to the restaurant or going to the person's house. That's when they'll give you the contract violation. But if you're late because, you know, you're waiting at the restaurant for like 15 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes or so on and so forth, you're not going to be penalized for it. However, even though your on time or early percentage will still go down from that, it will still go down if you're waiting at the restaurant for a long time. It's going to go down, but you're not going to get penalized for it. And if you do get penalized for that, you have every right to file a class action lawsuit against them because they're not supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's within your control. That's out of your control for the restaurant's wait time. But like I said, this rating right here will not go down because a lot of people thinks that, you know, people who have a low rating is always excessively late. That's not true, because the only reason why this thing is at 78% and not 100% is because I live in a marketplace where almost every restaurant, when you get to the merchant on time or even early, you know, the food is not even close to being ready, and I gotta wait an extra 10 minutes just to get the food, and then that affects my on time or early percentage. That's why this thing is down the way it is. And also, I noticed this too about DoorDash. I noticed that their ratings just don't really update as quick as it should, and it's not accurate. I've said this before when I had my my other DoorDash account. When on my other account, when I had a very low rating due to mistakes I made when I first started dashing, I tried my very best to bring that percentage up, but it just never went up. And I will be on time. I kid you not, I'll be on time like for 30 straight orders, and this thing barely goes up. It went up, but it went up slow because I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. Like in 2018, I had a 7% on time or early percentage. It was that bad. And that was around the time when, you know, the gig stuff, they wasn't as strict as they are now. So a lot of times you can even get away with being late to the restaurant. And I was doing that. I was late to restaurants at that time because I was multi-apping a lot in 2018. And that affected my on-time early percentage. So it was at 7% in 2018 and going into 2019. I kid you not, I was trying to get that thing up from there because I learned from my mistakes. And I only managed to get it from 7% to 28% before I was deactivated due to extreme latenesses on my other account. And I made videos about that in the past, talking about how unfair it was. But I couldn't really do anything because at the time, I didn't really have enough proof. And now I make sure to take pictures of everything now and do everything correctly and stuff. But back then, I wasn't as on top of things as I should have been. But yeah, the thing just never updates when you're on time. It goes slow, because I should have had, my rating should have skyrocketed the way I was dashing in late 2019 and, you know, throughout the entire 2020. Like, I was making sure to be on time for every single damn order. And I've even unassigned some orders that took too long at the restaurant too. Although you got to be careful with that, because too much of that you can bring this completion rate down, and if it goes down to 80%, they'll deactivate you for that. You know what I'm saying? So it even says it right here, dashes below 80% may be deactivated. So you got to be careful. You can't be unassigning too much orders. So you got to pick and choose. But yeah, it's like I would go like 20 or 30 deliveries straight being on time, and this thing went up slowly. It went from 7% over the last 2 years to only 28%. And I'm like, come on, why is this thing not going up? And supposedly, this is from your last, these are calculations from your last 100 deliveries completed. So I made sure to count. It's supposed to update after 100 deliveries. And it's supposed to update from your first 100 deliveries to the second set of 100 deliveries that you do. That's when you're really supposed to see the most significant change, like after 100 deliveries. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't see that. The thing was just going slow. It barely was going up. And then they deactivated me last year around this time. Ironically, it was around this time, September 3rd, 2020, I was deactivated. And now it's September 6th today. But yeah, back to this though. I'm going to just break this down again so that you guys can understand how this rating works. Doordash will not penalize you for having an on-time or early percentage low. They don't penalize you for that. They penalize you if they only supposed to penalize you, or they only penalize you for being extremely late to the merchant or to the customer. And extremely late means 10 minutes or more. If you're 10 minutes or more late to either the merchant or the customer, they're going to give you a contract violation that says that you're extremely late. And if you get too much of those, they'll deactivate you. However, like I said, if you're early to the merchant and you are waiting at the restaurant for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever, your on-time or early percentage will still go down, but you're not going to get a contract violation and you're not going to get penalized for that at all. You know what I'm saying? But, oh yeah, what was I going to say? All right, you see right here where it says, if you are, all right, it says the percentage is the number of orders you have completed by the estimated delivery time or within 5 minutes afterwards. This is another way for you to track your time. All right. You'll still be, well, according to them, you're still going to be marked early if you're like 4 minutes late to the person, or even 5 minutes late. You'll still be marked early. But after 5 minutes, that's when they count you as late. That's when this percentage right here will go down. So even if you're 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 4 minutes or 5 minutes late to the customer, you know, your percentage will not be affected. But, you know, it will be affected if you're 6 minutes late or more. But 6 minutes late is not going to get you deactivated or give you a contract violation. It's like I said, it's got to be 10 minutes or more. All right, so I hope I made this clear to you guys about this on-time or early percentage. You know, this number doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't even necessarily mean that you're always late to going to the merchant and the customer. It just means sometimes that the merchant is taking longer than expected to give you the food, and that's why this thing goes down. Or, you know, sometimes you're like a minute late or whatever, and it goes down. So just because someone's thing is low like this or even lower than this, it doesn't mean that they're not doing their jobs right, because a lot of people are. And like I said, I live in a marketplace in New York City where whereas, you know, the restaurant, the merchants, they take forever. And sometimes, yes, I do unassign the orders, but you don't, like I said, you want to be careful with unassigning too much orders, because you do that, you'll be deactivated. And like I said, there's almost barely any restaurants that's on time with the food. Sometimes they are. You know, they have their days when they actually are fast to give you the food when you arrive. But a lot of times they're not. And also, New York City, there's a lot of traffic. So that's another reason why I'll be like 6 or 7 or 8 minutes late to a person's house, or even to the merchant sometimes, depending on how far I am from the merchant when I accept the order. So yeah, this marketplace is not that easy to just get a 95% on time percentage. That's not easy to do. I had it before, but you know, it was slowly going down because of what I just said. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate that. And I'll leave my DoorDash referral link in the description and the comment section below, as well as my Cornershop referral link and the Shipt deliveries, grocery delivery referral link in the comment section, and in the what you call it, in the comment section and in the description. I'll leave all those links in those 2 places. All right. So you guys have a great AM, and I'll see you on the next video.